Many of you guys will have been in this situation before where you get a girl's number or a social media contact, maybe your Instagram, to DM her, right? And then you start messaging this girl, maybe a day later, maybe 2 days later, and things seem to be going really well. This girl seems to have very high interest, right? Seems to be really interested in you. And then out of nowhere, randomly, she will just stop texting you back. Or even worse, she'll just start being really blunt, right? And take ages to reply, whether that's hours, whether that's days. I'm going to explain to you in this video why women ghost after having initial high interest and what you can do to make sure it never happens again. So why is this actually happening, right? Why are girls seeming so interested and then they just ghost you out of nowhere? Well, what women do is they can quickly discern within a couple of messages, right? Within the first two, three messages, right? They can quickly discern whether you are someone who has high sexual market value and you are pre-selected, which means you have options. I want you to think about this for a second. Imagine you meet a new girl tomorrow, right? She's really pretty, right? You're enjoying texting her, right? Seems all cool. But you're a man who's speaking to two, three women already, right? You see them on a weekly basis, you're texting them, right? You're going to the house, you're having fun with them, whatever it may be. How little are you going to care about whether that new girl texts you back, how long it takes for that new girl to text you back, whether she meets you on a date next week or not? You're not going to care. And the reason why you're not going to care is because you've already got two, three women to fall back on, right? You've always got that safety net. So you're never scarce. You're never in this mindset of thinking, I really need this girl to reply because she's the only woman I'm speaking to. And then on the other hand, if you meet that woman tomorrow, right, and you've got no women in your life and you haven't had women in your life for the past 2, 3 months, how do you think this is going to affect the way you're communicating over the phone? How do you think this is going to affect the way you're texting this girl? And this comes down to the prime example of how she can tell whether you are low sexual market value and how she can tell that you don't have options. And that is, you are very enthusiastic with your text messages. Subconsciously, he's texting in a more needy way because scarcity bleeds through the phone. Scarcity bleeds into the text messages. She knows you have no other options. Well, what are some key indicators of you having no options? Well, one, you're going to be sending way too many lines. Let's do an experiment. Go on the text messages to that girl that just ghosted you, right? Or that girl that last ghosted you before when you thought she had really high interest. I can almost guarantee you, if you scroll up them chats, you have sent far too many words and far too many lines. And this is a key indicator that you are overly interested and you are needy because you don't have other options. And when you look at all those lines, all those text messages, what are you going to see? You're going to see the use of emojis, right? You're going to see the use of punctuation. Oh my God, that's so cool. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, right? You're going to get overly excited when you're texting her. You're going to start asking her all these questions because you're so intrigued in her life. Right, let's be honest, you've just met this girl. What are you intrigued about? And other things, you're going to try to set up the date, right? You're going to be really, really keen on setting up the date. And at the end of the day, she wants a pre-selected man and a guy who's really excited to get a date set in stone. Right? Oh, Sally, we should go for drinks next Thursday or next Saturday when you're free on the weekend. Because I'm free. I'm free Sundays. But you're just so enthusiastic. You're so excited. And all this certainty that's building up in the way you're texting her makes her certain that there must be something wrong with this man. There must be something wrong with you because of the way you're texting her. You really want to meet her. And what does that indicate? You don't have other options. You don't have other dates that you're going on. You're not seeing Christina on the weekend. She's hoping you're seeing Christina on the weekend and you have no free time. She's hoping you've got all this work to do so you can't set up a date with her next week. But no, you're free and you're trying to set up a date with her, and what's she thinking? There must be something wrong with him. This can't be my hypergamous best option because he's so excited to meet me in person. And what a lot of creators are going to say to you is, oh, it's to do with the fast reply rate, right? It's how fast you're replying. You're replying within 10 to 20 minutes. I completely disagree with all this shit. And I'll tell you why. The fact that you are trying to manufacture fake reply times, right? You're waiting to text her back because she waited 3 hours to text you, so you're going to wait 6 hours to text her back. All this is just stupid, immature games because you should be able to reply to a girl whenever you feel like it. Bear in mind, you should be busy from day to day. So you shouldn't be replying to her within 5 seconds anyway, right? But the reason you're replying so fast is because you've got nothing to do. The reason you're replying so fast is because you've got no other options. And women know this. You can reply whenever you want. I've trialed and tested this to the wits end. You can reply whenever you want, it doesn't matter. The main principle here is the fact you are showing so much care and so much excitement when you're texting this girl. I want you to really think about this, right? Every single time that you send a text message to this girl, you are communicating a degree of care. Every question you ask her, everything you say to her, every time you get excited, you are communicating care. Let me give you an example of what the typical low sexual market value guy is going to operate like, right? So this girl says to him, yeah, I went shopping this weekend and spent time with my friends. It was so fun, right? This is what she messages you, right? And this is what a low sexual market value guy or the average guy is going to reply. Oh, that's cool! Exclamation mark. What did you buy? And why haven't I met your friends yet? What are they like? You see how he's showing a lot of interest, right? Oh, that's cool. Right? She doesn't want you to be interested in her at this stage in time. And he's also asking questions, right? She doesn't really care about the interview. She doesn't really care that you've got any interest in her life at this point, right? She almost just wants a bit of fun. She wants you to not put as much effort in. So let me give you an example of a high sexual market value reply, right? The top 5% of guy who's getting all the women, right? Who's dominating the market, right? So let's say she's like, oh, I went shopping. Yeah, spent time with my friends. It was so fun. The high sexual market value guy replies, well, what did you buy me? What did you get me while you were shopping? And what I want you to take away from the example is the lack of effort that just took, the lack of effort I'm putting into that reply. The less effort you seem to make, the more interest she has because she's intrigued. Why is this guy not pandering to me? Why is this guy not asking me all these questions? Why is this guy not showing high interest like every other average guy that comes up to me or speaks to me? So how do you make sure this never happens again? How do you make sure these women with high interest initially are not going to ghost you? Well, the first thing you need to do is reduce your effort by 80% when you're texting these women. And this is probably contrary to what you thought I was going to say, right? Because the typical narrative is to put more effort in, right? You need to communicate more to get more reciprocal attraction out of her, right? That's what the typical mainstream narrative is, or what these other dating guys will tell you, right? Or you need to ask more questions, be interested in her life. It's just not true, is it? Every time you have interest in a girl's life, what does she do? She pulls away. She's got no interest in you anymore. She starts talking to her ex-boyfriend, right, instead of you. She's just bored of you already. What I really want you to carve in your brain, right, is the womanizer, the player, the 5% of guys who are having all the success with the women. They couldn't care less whether this new girl texts them or not. They couldn't care less when she texts him, right? Whether it's in 3 hours, whether it's in 6 hours. He couldn't even care less whether he goes on a date with her or not. He couldn't care less, right? Because think about this, the top 5% guy has other options. The top 5% guy is not scarce, and it's all translated in the text messages. He just doesn't care. At the end of the day, every other guy is putting in effort. Every other guy is pandering towards them, right? She wants the man who doesn't necessarily want her because she wants to work for something. She wants to put a bit of effort into getting the man because then it's worth it. Then she has the hypergamous best option that she's been looking for all along because every other guy is just giving her whatever she wants. Guys, if you enjoyed today's video, drop it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. I love you.